we present Civic Alert by Yash, Nikhil, and Kunj. Here's the problem. Most Americans don't actually know what laws are being proposed or passed in their own cities. Even when citizens vote in local elections, most don't really understand what it is that they're really voting for. This information about what is happening in their local community technically exists, but it's written in legal language that most people can't understand. On top of that, lots of local government websites are hard to use, and people don't regularly check them for updates, like a news source. Because of all these issues, there's no simple, reliable way for people to stay informed about local and state law changes and city agendas. This isn't just our opinion. The data backs it up. Only about 1 in 4 Americans who follow local government news are actually satisfied with the quality of the information they get. Legal documents are widely known to be difficult to understand, even for professionals, and national studies show that most local government websites have limited accessibility and aren't designed for regular public use. So the problem isn't interest, it's access and clarity. So what's our solution? An app called Civic Alert.
So what does Civic Alert actually do? We built Civic Alert to make local government information easy to find and easy to understand. Instead of expecting people to search through multiple government websites, Civic Alert brings everything into one place. It helps people stay connected to what's happening in their community without needing any background knowledge. The information is presented clearly in a way that actually makes sense. Users don't have to dig through government websites or random news pages to stay informed. Now let's move on to the tech stack. We use Firebase for the authentication in the database to store user information and preferences, and also to store the alerts that correspond with where people live and their communities. We use Node.js, Express.js, and React Native for the actual programming part of the project. We use the Gemini API to create the summaries and classify the bills and laws. We also utilize it for our chatbot that allows you to get more in-depth information about the specific bill you want. Finally, we use XPL Go for the actual deployment of our application, which allows us to see it in action. Now we will go into a demo of our application.
So starting off, you can see that we have a very aesthetic layout where you can see the logo for our app, and then you can see the sign-in page. And we have authentication with Google, but we can also sign in through email and password. And then from there, you're taken into the screen where you can see the feed of all of your different news. And so you can click on any one of these and you'll receive a summary of it and how it affects you, including the affected groups and a source where you can click on. And then scrolling down, you can see the different types of news. Now you can go to the briefings tab where you can see an AI summary of the different news that you're experiencing in your town. And this impact score allows you to see how your news is affecting you personally. And so you can choose to add different profiles depending on who you are and what's important to you. And then based on that, the AI will automatically choose news events that are of high relevance to you and what you want to do. Now you can also ask any question you'd like to our Civic Assistant, which is trained on the news data that we have. And so you can ask any question regarding the news that you have and it will answer it for you. Finally, you can look at calendars to see when local news meetings are happening, when local committee meetings are happening, and that way you can always stay up to date as a citizen. And then you can also customize how this app works for you, what categories of news you'd like to see, and how you'd like to have it. Civic Alert turns confusing local news into clear updates, so citizens actually know what's changing in their community. Use Civic Alert today.